Hello, testing. Okay, very good morning, good afternoon to you all. So actually today we're going to discuss for the project sections for personal financial planning and management. Okay, so I will be your facilitator, tutor for this course. Okay, and for this, how you're going to prepare for that financial plan later on. So in case you have any questions, please ask a question right now. I don't want you to bring, you may have a project letter, okay, which is take home. Then you need to start, then you have complete and submit to me by 2 weeks later. Okay, for checking. So next, so just a little bit myself, okay, my name is Chia. So you can call me Mr. Chia, okay, or I'm from FBF. So you're from engineering background, doesn't matter, okay. So in case you have any questions, you may reach me at this email. Okay, just drop me an email in case you have any questions regarding that personal financial management papers. And next, my office number is H284. You also can, if you have any questions, you also can reach me at H284 as well. Okay, so before we start, okay, so I don't know you all, okay, because this course, basically we're going to discuss focus the development on that practical methods for organizing financial information and interpret financial positions and cash flow, achieving a financial goal. So this one, so when at times you look at the keywords here, practical, that means what we are going to discuss, okay, throughout the mini project or letter, which is much more on those practical methods. Okay, that means in the market, so there's someone we are called licensed financial planner. Okay, licensed financial planner, they also have to prepare a plan. We call financial plan. Okay, so this financial plan is exactly similar with that project, okay, which you are going to start in the next 2 weeks later, which we are going to discuss by today. Okay, actually it's the same. So what are inside the plan? Later we're going to discuss all that details. But before we begin, okay, so you need to know for every financial planning, the first begin, you have to identify that how you're going to achieve a financial goal. Okay, so I need you all, just how I asked you to come up a piece of paper, right? Okay, so you need to write your financial goal first. You have to write in a piece of paper for financial goal. Why important? Because later, okay, in that project, so I will going to explain to you what going to have or criteria in that financial goal. Okay, and this financial goal, it must be realistic, achievable, and measurable. So when times you have a financial, which means money, you need to have a figure. You need to have some value, okay, to demonstrate what are you going to achieve. For example, let's say your financial goal is try to achieve, I want to get 20,000 in next 5 years for further study. This is your financial goal. One is your financial goal. Okay? Or you want to accumulate, saving your money for 100,000 to pay a down payment for a house. That one also a financial goal. Okay, so in your paper letter, okay, so I need you to write your personal financial goal. Personal means that is an individual. It's yours. Your personal financial goal together with your name. With your name. Okay, so can you start now? In that piece of paper, just write your personal financial goal, what you're going to need, or what is your objective, what's the money you plan to have in the coming 5 years, 10 years, or even though in the short term next year, or even though in 20 years time. Just one. So anyone write one and together with your name. Okay, so example, let's say my personal financial goal, one goal only, okay, once learner, one goal, okay. So let's say your personal financial goal is you need to accumulate, okay, a down payment for house purchase. Let's say this is mine. So I will write for my personal financial goal is RM 50,000 in 5 years time. In 5 years. 50,000 in 5 years, then write your name. Yeah. Okay. So please start now. It's very important because you have to identify your goal first. Then only you can start how to prepare your financial plan letter. Okay, this is the first step. And I also need to know a little bit about yours. You can write anything. Finish. Just write anything, no right or wrong. Don't worry. Because later in your project, you also have to write this as well. Okay, so I need to write. So in that project, then I'm going to start with you, step by step, how you're going to prepare all the plans later. Finish? Finish. Okay. Your name, please? John. Okay. What's your personal financial goal? 30K in 5 years time. Okay. So John, 30K, 5 years time. For what purpose? For what purpose? Emergency. Okay. You need to have 30K in your saving account only. Okay, saving account 30K. So for emergency. Your name, please? Petra. Okay, Petra. So what's your personal financial goals? Petra. 100K. Petra. Then 7 years. For what purpose? Trip. Okay, good. For trip. Around the world. Oh, 3 purpose. Okay. That means you have 3 goals, right? So what's your goals? House. 100K, is it sufficient? Down payment. Okay, good. Then new car. Also down payment. Or full in cash. Emergency saving. Okay, good. HP. PET. HRA. Okay. Right. Your name, please? Yeah, okay. So what's your personal financial goal? 50K in 5 years time. For what? Marry? Also down payment for house, okay? Down payment for your house. Any Chong here? Chan, okay, Chan. 50K in 5 years. Marry with children. Marry. What's purpose? Emergency. Saving. Down payment for house. Down payment for house. Why everyone want to buy a house? Is it very important? You don't want to use the money for further study. Study not good. Huh? Or is it TEH? TAY. Okay. 100K for 5 years. No one getting married. No one want to use the money for planning for marriage.
For
Investment, emergency, and trade. Is it enough? 100K. Is it achievable? 5 years time? Huh? Can. No problem. Should be able. Okay. Good luck. You let me know, you know. You don't forget me after you achieve that. PE, PRA, H, SA, B. So you AD. Why so unique? 40K and 4 years. You like 4, dapat. Dapat. For what purpose? A car. Oh, 4 years time a car. 40K. What was the plan? Proton Villa. No more. Oh, Pesa. Oh, Proton Pesa. Why you want to take 40K for buy a cash? You don't plan to take a loan. Be much more convenient. 40K cash. Your name? Oh, your name. Pardon. Your name is pardon. TEH. 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 Okay, so your financial goal? 100K. 8 years time. Okay. I think achievable lah. 8 years time for 100,000. Emergency saving. That's all. Okay, last LEE. LEE. YEE. Y? EAP. Yeah. What's your personal financial goal? 100K in 10 years. How come other people spend only 5 years to take 10 years to accumulate 100,000? Is it your salary? Okay. Is it your company got discrimination? What's the reason? Investment. You want actually this is what our goal. You want the money for investment. Actually, investment is for us to achieve that goal. But doesn't matter. Okay. So later I will discuss on how to clear your doubt. Investment on trip. 100K for trip. Travel around the world. Okay, good. Okay, so now, congratulations, you have all this is your financial goal. But there are many things in our life, okay, to make our goal, sometimes it will be unachievable. Let's say this is your goal, right? So you want to have 100K. This is your 100K. So for all the reasons there, so in our life, which is full a lot of uncertainty, right? Okay, so this uncertainty, which is, let's say you attended last week, so this is we call in mathematics standard deviation. Okay, so but in finance, we call this is risk. Okay, so in risk. So in our whole course, so we also will discuss. So through our life, let's say if you have all those uncertainty, how you're going to manage and dealing with all those risks. We call risk management. Okay, risk management. So basically, for personal finance, the cost objective is very simple. First, you set your plan. Okay, how to ensure you're on the right track to achieve the goal, even though you have a lot of disruption. Okay, so this is all the cost objective. Okay, for what we're going to discuss in today is very brief. So the learning outcome, we should come more details there. So first, expand the planning process from the aspect of personal finance. So even though you have all these goals, saving, down payments, car, and so on, but how you're going to use, what are the tools? Okay, what are the, for the process, which step, how you prepare the planning, okay, what are the steps I'm going to use to apply and ensure that this goal is achievable. So we have a lot of steps, we have a lot of process, so we have a lot of the, okay, techniques as well. Okay, so this will be discussed, okay, in our learning outcome as well, okay, for the whole course. And in your project also later, you discuss the 5 strategy. Okay, so the 5 strategy, one of them is called risk management. So one of them is called setting all the goals. Then the other one is planning. Okay, how you're going to use that strategy to achieve that goals and solving all those problems. So you want to get all these financial goals, saving, new car, down payment, and so on. Definitely nothing will be smooth, right? You see, yes, look nice, but a lot of things happen, okay, in between, such as in the cases that which give it to you is called COVID. So if COVID come, so how are you dealing with that COVID cases? How are you going to manage that? Okay, so that one also will be part of the objective, okay, and apply all these strategy to solve the problem as well. Okay, and the third, okay, of course, okay, so we also going to use some management tools such as credit management. Credit management basically, let's say just now we have a case that purchase a car by cash, right? Sometime, let's say I give you one example. Which one you like? So Mr. A, he want to own a house. Okay, and the other one, Mr. B, also he want to own a house. But the way they own a house, which is in a different mechanism. This one, he can own a house, which is accumulate all the money for 10 years. For this 10 years, once he accumulate all the monies later, then he use the money 200,000 to purchase the house in cash. Right? So, but he need to wait 10 years. The other method, which is B, he can own the house, but he can own the house right now. No need to wait 10 years. Okay? But he want to own the house right now. He, of course, okay, he no money, right? So he need to take a loan from the bank instead of accumulate for 200,000 to purchase the house by cash. So this one, okay, of course, okay, we call is one of the credit management. How are you going to use that loan, or we call leverage, okay, to own some things that your which is going to you want to have it right now, but you cannot get purchase in the cash. So now, which one is better for you? Which one is better for you? Which one you like the most? You want to wait 10 years, accumulate then for 200,000 by cash, or you need to own the house right now by taking a loan from the bank? Why? Because you want to own the house now, the dream house. You cannot wait for 10 years. Okay, 10 years girlfriend already. No more. Okay. So yes, most of us, which is we like to take a loan rather than we accumulate, rather than we wait 10 years to get the 200,000, right? But the problem is, if we all the while we're doing the same thing to own many items or asset by taking a loan, then we cause a problem to us. Okay, such as house, you take a loan, car, you also take a loan, your laptop, you also take a loan because you don't want to have a laptop right now. Then you want to have a tablet again to take a loan, motorcycle, also take a loan. What else? House renovation, also take a loan. What will happen? What will happen? You have a lot of loans, right? Then you come up another method called credit managing. Okay, so this one is how you manage all those debt from your personal debt okay, which also will be discussed in all the learning outcome here today, okay, or in the coming sessions. Then we're going to discuss all those, how you're going to manage properly for all that outstandings you have, okay, properly. So even though you have, okay, overspend, doesn't matter. So we still have another last solution for you. Okay? Of course, the last solution is a bankrupt. Okay, declare bankrupt, no need to pay. But before we go to the bankrupt, you still can seek for some help, okay, from certain agency, AKPK and so on. That one we also will be discussed. Okay, and other than that, what else? Risk management. Okay, so risk management, please take note. I know some of you who are taking for corporate, okay, risk management, which is they use some derivative products and so on, okay, and how to manage the corporate tax and so on. But bear in mind, our learning outcome today will be focused on that personal finance. Okay, personal finance, what's the difference between corporate finance? So we have a personal finance. So the other one, which is called corporate finance. Any difference, John? What your perception? Personal finance and corporate finance in your mind? How do we differentiate? How we differentiate between personal finance and corporate finance? Anyone want to try? Our learning outcome will be focused on personal finance. It's not corporate finance. Even though both of them, they also have that risk management. But the process is different. Okay, process is different. Personal finance is more on individual. Okay, be more on individual. This one more to organization, a firm organization. So this one more on individual. So even though there's some product, the sounds looks like the same. Let's say for risk management, or corporate also want to purchase insurance, right? Person also want to purchase insurance, but the product themselves is totally different. Product. Some product is same, some product is different. So let's say for construction, you're from engineering, right? Construction. Is it construction? Green tech. Is it not green tech? Oil and gas. Is it oil and gas? Not oil and gas. What is it? Huh? Electronic. Okay, so electronic, all the factories, okay, they also have that, let's say the product you come out, okay, the product you come out by all the electronic device and so on, they have that insurance, right? This insurance for that product, okay, in case that, let's say the product you come out, handphone, smartphone burn, then later you have to responsible and pay back to that consumer. That one will be discussed under the corporate finance part, insurance. But for personal, we don't have all these things, okay, which is we call product liability. We don't have that, okay? So what we have is on individual related, such as medical, your personal accidents, your personal life, and so on, okay? All those engineerings, marines, good in transits, construction, all risk, fire consequent loss, all the factory gave fire and so on. So that one we will not cover in here, okay, in this learning outcome. So some of you, okay, which is you have maybe some background because you are from different field. So you thought, oh, that one is maybe can apply and so on. But actually, we are not going to focus here. What we're going to focus on that is individual related product. Okay, more to personal line rather than commercial line. So even though most of them, it may apply that risk management, but when it comes to that explanation and the application, so we are going to focus on that personal line rather than corporate line. Okay, so other than that, what else? Investment, same thing. Corporate, they also have investment, right? Corporate invest a lot of money. They have a capital budgeting and so on. But individual, we also have our personal budget and personal investment planning. So corporate, they invest, where they invest? Yes, they invest in share. They invest in a new corporation through merger and acquisition. But are you going to merger and acquisition with others? Yes, you're getting married is a merger. merge and become another one family. But that one, okay, for that kind of investment, for corporate related, we also want to discuss. We will focus on your individual investment, such as you invest in a share, unit trust, even though private retirement scheme. And this is all the product you can list out in your project letter. Okay, how you're going to invest. And how you're going to plan ahead of all these products. How you make sure this product is able to achieve to your financial goal. Okay, and next, tax. Corporate also have their tax. Personal also have their own tax. Again, we're not going to discuss for corporate tax. Corporate tax has a lot of the tax related party transaction. Okay, they have a lot of that SST, corporate SST, and so on. But this one, it doesn't matter to your corporate tax, income tax. Okay, so we all have our own personal tax and personal exemption tax. So we also will discuss on all those in your EA form as well. So in that personal EA form, if you are employee, or even though you are self-employed, you're going to discuss for that column P. So how items you can be used and report to the Lembaga Hasil Negeri, okay, your income tax, inland department revenue. So the items you can exempt for tax, we also will discuss that. Okay, so this is the tax method. Also will be focused our LO3. And next, retirement planning. So retirement planning is if you are an employee, retirement planning in your project, you can write EPF. EPF, you know EPF, right? KWSP. So which one, if you are working in any companies, the company will pay a certain percentage. Then you as an employee also contribute a certain percentage there. So, and later on, okay, other than the EPF, okay, which is a compulsory, is a requirement by law. If you're working in any company, they require you to pay, okay, and minus from salary itself, they contribute. You only can take out by the time you reach 55 years old. So the feature of the EPF will also be discussed. Okay, you also can list out. And if you have an EPF, so EPF is for what? EPF is for your retirement. So you accumulate all the wealth right now. By the time you reach your age 60 years old, even though the EPF you can cash out in year age 55, but usually we set our retirement planning, usually we set 60 years old, okay, which is according to the Malaysia's customs, okay, which is 60 years old. Most of the people will retire at that age. So by the time you reach 60 years old, retire. The next problem is when it comes to the 60 years old, in Malaysia, according to the Statistical Department Malaysia, okay, Jabatan Anggaran Malaysia, average our lifespan for all the Malaysian is how long? What do you think? 90? No? We cannot average, I mean average. More or less there, okay, more or less. So more or less, male and female, there are difference. Actually, the male getting, they have a longer life expectancy compared with male. Okay, but I think average 75. Okay, so this is Malaysia, okay, life expectancy average. Next, the problem is you have a money in 60 years old, this EPF. So is it sufficient for you to sustain? You have no income, right? Once you retire, no more income. Is it sufficient for you to sustain another 15 years? Can or cannot? What do you think? Cannot, EPF. How you know cannot? Can or cannot? We don't know actually. Then you have to calculate. So we have a template, okay? In that, in that project, we also have to calculate. So whether your EPF will be sufficient by the time you reach 60 years old, okay? So you're able to cover for your life expectancy until 75. This is your life expectancy. Okay? You can set longer life, just now 80, 90 also can. Of course, if you have set longer life expectancy, then you have to have more plan, okay, in your return. And next, just now you say EPF may be not sufficient after a calculation. What else? You can do a planning to achieve your retirement plan. What else? What do you think? What else you can do to ensure you have sufficient money for your retirement plan? Other than the EPF? This is if you are working. What if you are self-employed? You're not going to yes, nowadays self-employed you still can contribute to EPF, right? But other than CPF, what else? We have private retirement scheme, PIS as well. You also can write in in your project. This is one other plan. Or you have any other investment plan. If you have any other investment plan, which is long-term for your retirement purpose as well. So this one, you also can write in in your project. So what is it? So this one is called that retirement planning. Okay, and last, which is estate planning. This estate planning or estate management is not the real estate. It is not your purchase a house and so on, which is basically is related to your distribution. Distribution, which means, let's say, by the time you reach 60, okay, I take back the age 60. So now you have accumulated a wealth for 1 million. Is it achievable? Don't know. Cannot. Don't want. Give it to me. You don't want. Let's say you have 1 million now, and I believe you're already getting married, right? By the time you reach 60. Yes or no? So you have your spouse. Let's say this is you. You already have your spouse. Then you have kids. 1, 2, 3. Next problem is how you're going to distribute and allocate your money to all these we call beneficiary. And you also have parents. You also have parents, right? This one is called distribution. Okay? Or we call estate planning. So in that estate planning, so if you want to allocate, how we allocate? So in your family, sometimes you like this kid most, right? This one I like, I give him more money. I give 80%. This one, I don't like him. Very common, right? Is it same? Is it same apply to your family as well? No. All equal. Your parents like all the family equally. Okay, good. Okay, so let's say okay, for example, this one, the parents don't like him, okay, just allocate 20%. This one, don't bother at all. 0%. Can you allocate like that? And if you want to allocate like that, can or cannot? Can, right? It will depends. Okay, it will depends. So when it comes to the allocation, so if you don't have that proper estate planning, if you don't have the proper estate planning, government will allocate for you. How the government allocate to you? Malaysia, we have a distribution act. So in the Malaysia distribution act, let's say, okay, just have a try for you all. You have a parent, and you have a spouse, okay, and children. What do you think? How many percent parents will get of this 1 million? Petra? Just have a try, okay? Just have a try. No right or wrong. 40% percentage. According to the Malaysia government distribution act, how many percent the parent will get of all these 1 million? 20%. Okay, spouse? Spouse 100%. Then 120% already. How this money could go to 120%? Let's say, for example, if you have parents, okay, spouse and children, unfortunately this one passed away. So how the government will help you to allocate all this money? Don't worry, government won't take your money. This government won't take. Okay, government will help you to distribute to all your beneficiaries if they have an entitled. Okay, so let's say according to Malaysia, okay, for non-Muslim, because Muslim, okay, please take note, Muslim, they also have their own distribution act. For all the Muslim, they will follow Fariat. Okay, Fariat. So Fariat, they also have their own calculation, but we look at the non-Muslim part. Non-Muslim, the government will help you to distribute balance 20%, you say, okay, right? So spouse, how many percent? 50. Children? 30. 100%, correct. Okay, according, if you don't have, okay, any proper estate planning, then the parents, okay, and spouse, they will only get 25%. Let's say this is a pie chart. Parents will get 25%, and the spouse will only get 25%, and the children will get the 50%. Okay, the government will allocate to you. And 50%, so this 50% now, the government will distribute equally to all of them. Even though you don't like him, they also will get a portion of the 50% equally. Okay, so now if you don't want the government allocate for you, just like I don't want to allocate for you for your project team, you want me to allocate for you for your project? I will follow the name list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 group, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 group. Or you want to allocate yourself? Which one you prefer? You all also like to allocate yourself, right? So now, same thing. How are you going to use that estate planning method, okay, to allocate according to your wish? So of course, we have many tools. So you have a will, you can prepare a will. You can prepare a trust on that allocation. So of course, in the time you prepare a will and trust, they also have that term and condition. There are a lot of criteria to fulfill. Okay, so there are many criteria, such as by the time you prepare a will, you need to have 2 witnesses and so on. So you need to have some contents inside, okay, which is according to Malaysian law and so on. Like this one, let's say this one, if the last children is unmarried daughter, unfortunately this one unmarried daughter unmarried, female, then you allocate 0%, your will be invalid. You don't know, right? So you must have locate, if any daughter is unmarried, you must take care as well. Okay, married, then the husband side will take care. Don't worry. Unmarried, I mean the current family will have to take responsible. Okay, for this unmarried daughter. And other than unmarried daughter, so all those disabled child, also same thing. You must allocate. Okay, your distribution. Even though you have a prepare for will or trust, you also have to take care of all this group. So this is also we discuss in that part as well later on. Okay, also it must be put in your project. Okay, any questions? No, then let's start with your project. Hello, testing. Okay, the project, which is a mini project, okay, I can say, because later you have to spend few weeks, okay, on that project later to complete your papers. Okay, and this project, you have to form a group members, minimum 1, maximum 5. So once you form a group, can you all sit together? Then we are going to start the project right now. You all know each another, right? You don't know each another. I think just now we have write down your names, okay, and your personal financial goal. Even though you don't know your name, you know your financial goal, right? You want to purchase a car, 40K, then you know. You don't want to down payment for a house, then you know already. So can you all form your group right now, by today? Because I want to submit the list, okay, from your group, which is your form by today. Actually, we need to supposed to submit the list by last week. Okay, so can you form your group today? So again, the group minimum is 1. You can do it alone, or maximum up to 5 members. 4. 2, 2, or 4, 4. How? No, no, no. Yes, yes. In the same team. Okay, I let you to have 30 seconds to walk around. Okay, to walk around. Then to see you all can form your groups. So once you form a group, then you all sit together. Okay, you all sit together because later we will start our project. Finish. 30 seconds. Minimum is 1. Maximum is 5. Finish, you all go finish. What's your decision? 2, 2. Or you don't want to combine, become 4. Okay, okay, good. Never mind, okay. So now, assume you was a financial planner. You prepare a financial plan to your client. So this financial planner is we call that licensed financial planner. So in Malaysia, we have 1,004 to as today. So you can check the list in that. This is a link, okay, which is for that approved or licensed financial advisor, like just now I did mention to you. So you can check the link in Central Bank website, Bank Negara website. Okay, so this is all the person who are professional and certified and able to prepare for all this financial plan to his client. Okay, now assume you are the one of them. Okay, of this group of people. Or you want me to show you the name list right now? Maybe your name is there. Or you want me to show you the name? So you can maybe you can look for them to prepare or give you a sample. So this is a name list which is you get it from the central bank. And this is a company they have attached with. Right, so such as UOB, KN Wealth Advisor, okay, and Philip Wealth Planners, and so on. So this is all the name. Okay, so if you know each of them, then you can ask them to give you a sample for that personal financial plan, if they're willing to share it with you. So in Malaysia so far we have 1,426 only so far, okay, at this moment. Up to 30 September 2022. So that means assume you are one of the 2004, which is able to prepare that financial plan. So how are we going to start? Okay, this is our mini project. Later we're going to discuss. Okay. So this is all the company they attach with. Okay, and they are the name list which is inside. So if you're really interested, then you can check with the link in the central bank. Okay, here just click the link, then you can see all the names which is appear. Okay, now in your personal financial plan, they have 3 parts, which I already sent it to you, right? You already download from Webber, right? So part 1, part 2, part 3. So you have 3 parts. Of course, on top of that, you have an executive summary. So the executive summary, which is a summary from all the part 1, part 2, part 3. So we just discussed that are the important point in the part 1, part 2, and part 3. Okay, so you know the criteria and my expectation, okay, on that part 1, part 2, part 3, what you need to include and put inside. Okay, so now the first one in the part 1 in your financial plan, you have to determine your targeted financial goal. Just now you already targeted your financial goal, right? In the piece of paper. You still remember your goal? Or you still remember the goal for your friend? Yes. Okay, good. But now, when it comes to that financial plan, we have to make it more details. You need to split your goal to short-term, intermediate, and long-term goals. based on that client's situation. Okay, so next, the client's situation, okay, first, which is not given in that papers, right? In the question, not given, right? So this client's situation, you have to imagine yourself. Okay, this one is free, no recession. You can imagine yourself. So you can use your parents as an example. Right? So you can use any example. Let's say if first you need to write what is your occupation. Okay, in that current situation, you need to write name. Of course, you have to name ABC. Okay, what's the age right now? Because different age group, we have to set different financial plan to your client. So what's the age? Let's say the age is 40, then you can write 50. You need to make assumptions. Okay, whether here status, marriage status, is it getting married or single? Okay, but I strongly encourage you to write married rather than single. Okay, later I'll discuss also with the married people because more things to plan. Okay, more things to plan in the married people. So now, occupation. So, what's the occupation? Engineer. Okay, engineer, easier, okay? Engineer. Or if you don't like engineer, you can write hawker, teachers, or anyone. Your parents, it's okay, also can. You can prepare this financial plan to your parents later on. Right? So, next, if you marry, how many children they have? Okay, children, how much? School, preschool, kindergarten, standard 1, and so on. Right? So these are all the details you also have. So same things when it come to that personal or professional financial plan. When they come to the mid client, they need to have first step is we call fact finding. You have to get all this financial information. Then only you can advise them. Is it? So now, is it enough? Is it enough? No. Why? Important is you don't have any financial information, right, to your client. So now, the next is more related to the financial information from your client situation right now, which is the client, what is your income? Money income. Okay, you can use the money income, or if you only have salary, or maybe he have other investment like dividend, or maybe he have other part-time income, okay, such as he drive a Grab and so on, also can write in. Anything you also can write in. Okay, it's free. Right? Income. Or next, what is the money in the bank right now? What is the money right now? So in the bank account, what is the wealth right now he have? Okay, so any other asset he have right now, other than bank, the EPF, if you can get, also can, how many money is in the EPF, you can plan. So how many, let's say, other than the bank, we call saving. What are the current insurance plan they have right now? If they have, or what are the investment product they have right now, or anything, okay, the client asset, let's say whether they have a house or property or not. Let's say assume no, then you can write anything, etc. So this is all the financial background. You also have to find out and define yourself. Okay, it's free. You have to discuss with your team member what are the things need to include, okay, in your client background. So for this case, we only need one client only. Okay, you don't need to prepare 2 or 3 clients. Okay, so this one only one client. Your background, what's the bank account, EPF, insurance, investment, etc. And what's the income? Next, other than the income, what else? You need to know that the client spending, right? Every month, what he spend? This is income. Asset, of course, you need to know what is the spending. Other than the spending, also need to write all of that. So spending, very simple. Electric bills, students, okay, you got children, right? Kindergarten fees. Then house, if renter, house renter. If you don't have any house renter, if a house, then installment, car installments, how much and so on. So all this spending and all is that, okay, let's say you have a housing loan right now, 200,000, just write 200,000 loan. You have a car loan, also write car loan and so on. So this one is free to you, right? But it's very important. You have to, before you start, you have to write a story, a background from your client first. Okay? As much as possible information provided. So this, you can prepare a T format, like a balance sheet, we call financial position. That one will be discussed, okay, by your other trainer letter, okay, how to prepare for that financial plan, okay, and personal financial balance sheets. They will list out all the asset and all the client debts, okay, in the personal financial and all the cash flow. So they also have a format to prepare that. So all this information must be included, right, in your part one. Okay. Any questions there? No, right? So if no question, next. In a part one, you also, in a personal financial plan, you also have to prepare for that goal. Just how you write a lot of goal, right? So the goal, you must be divided by short-term, intermediate, and long-term goals. You cannot just write one. And different goals, they have a different strategy to achieve that. Different goals, short-term, okay, intermediate term, medium term, okay, we call, or long term, you need to have a different strategy, different solution, different risk management to achieve that. Okay, so for example, so we take back the case for that engineer. Short-term goal, usually that goal will be achieved within 1 to 2 years time. Less than 5 years, better. Okay, 1 to 2 years time. Let's say I just write one short-term goal, but in your project, you can write, it's up to you. It's up to you how comprehensive your project. Okay, you can write 2, 3 also can. But if you more plan, you need to have identify more strategy how you achieve that. No recession, okay, it depends on the client situation. Minimum is 2. Okay, same thing go to the medium term. Minimum is also need to write 2, and long term also minimum 2. But I just write 1 only, okay, for this mini case. So short term goal. So just now you have a lot of sharing, right? So what is the sharing of your personal financial goal is related to short term trip, right? Trip. This is short term. Within 1 to 2 years time, I need to accumulate 10,000 for a trip. Travel to which country you like? Indonesia. Don't like Singapore. Don't like Thailand. Okay, Thailand. Good. Thailand 10,000. 2 years time. So this will be your short-term goal. The next short-term goal, you discuss with your team member. Okay. Next, short-term goal usually 1 to 2 years time. 1 to 2 years, but or less than 5 years also acceptable. Okay. So middle term is within 5 to 10 years time. Okay. This in the intermediate, 5 to 10 years time. Example, so now we also have a lot of sharing from yours, right? One example is you need to prepare a down payment for a car, house, or anything, or further study, or so on. Right? So let's say you want to prepare, okay, which is 5 to 10 years time, which is for your, just now is a married guy, right? Children. So 5 to 10 years time for his children education. Children education fund for the children university study also can. This one is also a middle term. Okay. So this one down payment, let's say how much money? You mess this out, down payment, let's say for a house, which is 50K. Is it enough? Not enough. Okay, 100,000. House down payment plus renovation. Right? Enough. 100,000. Also not enough. Where you stay? Hmm? Where you stay? 100,000 not enough. Okay, never mind. You just think a figure which is convenient to you, but must be realistic to your clients. Let's say working locations. Klang Valley maybe it could be more. Okay, or if let's say in the rural area like Kampam, okay, you can set lower. Okay, it's up to you. It's free. Okay, so nothing right wrong. Next, the other one minimum is 2, right? You go and think yourself. Right, long-term goal. So of course the common one is retirement planning. So other than the retirement planning, so you also maybe you can spend the money for your further study again. Lifelong study, we are lifelong study, right? Okay, after retire also can study again overseas because again now in the younger age you no money, but when the times you're getting retired, the more money they go further study. Also can. Right? Other than that, many tank okay, usually this long-term goal will be more than 20 years. More than 20 years. Or 20 years. Okay, go to retire. Just now it's a 40 years old, right? So retirement plan is 20 years. So 60. Oh, 60 years old retire. So this one, retirement planning. How you're going to achieve that? And what's the money is sufficient for you to retire? So in the next session, I think we have discussed already in the time value of money. Right? How to get that retirement amount? How to get that retirement amount? You have to use that time value of money to get that figure in a series. So if you don't know how to get it, okay, just refer back on that later. Okay, if we're sharing in the second part, okay, in the time value money sections. So this one, you need to accumulate, let's say for retirement planning, you need to get 1 million for your retirement planning. 20 years time. Yes. Is it achievable? Maybe yes or no. Okay. So it depends your client income. So your client income, by the time you set, you must be realistic to ensure this goal it can be achievable. If your client income just now you say 3,000 a month, can you retirement plan to get 1 million? A little bit difficult. Okay. Yeah. You calculate the time value money. Right. Later we discuss that session. Time value money. See whether you can able to get this 1 million. All right. So the time value money is in the other sections. So I'm not going to go through the details. So if you miss that part, so you just refer back. Okay. So next, this is the you must put in to ensure. Next, why he want all these things? Why he want all these things? This is all the objective, right? Why he want? They must be have a specific reason, right? So please do write in. If possible, please do write in. Because it's related to some personal value, personal belief, and so on. Right? It's all subjective. Everyone have their own financial goal, right? So you need to have that retirement for 1 million. Definitely, you need to this value of money is meaning for you. Right? So what's the value inside? If possible, do write in. Okay, so this is for part 1. Any questions for part 1? No, good. Next, then come to that part 2 in your financial plan. So in your part 2, this is we call strategy. Just now we have a strategy to write in, right? That the part we are going to discuss. So that strategy, first, you need to have your income and your plan to achieve your goal. Let's say I just take one example. This goal. All the goal you need to have your own strategy to achieve. Please take note. So now I just take this goal for down payment for your house. You want to accumulate down payment for your house in 7 years' time. Correct? Just now, who is mentioned 7 years' time? 7 years' time for house 100,000. You are mentioned, right? Okay, so now your income right now is, let's say, for example, 5,000. Or Assuming fresh grade lah, huh? Or 40 years old, okay? 40 years old, 5,000. So 40 years old, 5,000. Now, within 7 years old, which means you're 47 years old, do you think that this 5,000 income, it can be accumulated up to 100,000 later on? Can or cannot? Cannot, right? So if cannot, then what should do? From a saving, this 5,000 per month, 40 years old, 7 years time, you need to accumulate 100,000. Cannot be achieved. So next, you have to find your own way to increase that income. Write in your pen. How to increase your income? You can write anything, huh? Very subjective. So, Grab. Is it convenient for you? After your works, try a Grab. Don't like Food Panda? Don't like Ozone. So what you like? YouTuber. Okay, good. YouTuber. So this one, another extra income for you. Okay, this is your plan. Right? So YouTuber, another how much? 1,000 or estimated. Okay, maybe if you have more subscribers, then it can be increased further and so on. So we don't know, we just make a plan, 1,000. Enough? Not enough. Then have to find another income again. Okay, so find your own way to increase your income. And what is your plan to increase your income? So do prepare, okay, and write in your plan. And ensure that other than that income, okay, the solution, YouTuber, not enough, then Grab again. If not income, Food Panda again. Not enough, what else can do? What else can do? Investment, are you sure investment can do? Okay, never mind, investment. All right, this is investment. Not enough, tuition again. Tuition again. So ensure all this money within 7 years time can get your intermediate terms target. Many things to do. Superman. Oh. Okay, make it realistic lah. That means just how I say. Okay, if you set the income, let's say this one is 7,500. Okay, 7,500. Maybe it's lesser part-time job lah, or lesser passive income to achieve that target. So this one depends on you. Okay, it also depends on that current situation. So this is all some suggestion to increase your income to achieve your goal. This is only for intermediate. Don't forget, you still have a short term too. Okay, you still have long term as well. Okay, so next, so increase your saving and income to achieve that goal, which you feel that the current income is not sufficient. If your current income is sufficient, then good. Next, asset allocation. This asset allocation, which means if you have this money only in your account, in your income, so your income will be accumulate a fund, right? So how you allocate your fund? How you allocate your money? This 5,000. If impossible, all the money you're going to use it, okay, for purchase a down payment house. You still have a portion of that money income. Let's say Grab for long-term goal, correct? You still have the money for, let's say for emergency. Just now you say emergency, right? So how you allocate this money? How many percent you want to allocate? So it's also another tactic. All right. So let's say you only have this 5,000 plus this Grab 1,000, only 6,000 every month. So how you going to allocate this money to all this portion? We call asset allocation. So maybe you said, okay, I need to ensure every month I get the income, 30% it must be put in the saving account for emergency. Okay, so another 40% is for all the expenses. Okay, so another 20% is to achieve the down payment. Next, become lesser and lesser. Then how? Plus again. Okay, so another 10%, is it 10% left? Another 10% left. Okay, this expenses 40%, 20%. This one is for investment. That's mean every month you have your income. How you allocate that? Okay, so once you have this plan, make sure you stick to the plan. That's it. Okay, so this is we call asset allocation. Next, after that, you complete all this part. You continue with the third part. Okay, the third strategy which is called what are that specific product. Okay, so based on the client situation right now, based on the client, I mean, just like a client engineering, he have a daughter and so on. So he want to use that money to achieve that goal. So what are the things you want to use it or apply or purchase, okay, to fulfill all these requirements? So such as, let's say I want to use my money. Just now you say you have one investment, right? One of your tools, okay, to use it to accumulate a down payment for 100,000 is your investment. So when it comes to investment, please make it more details. What do you want to invest? You can invest in a share plan, okay? So if share, if you can write, you give more specified what are the share you want to invest. So that share, it could be grow for 20 years time to get that a portion of that wealth. Not necessarily the share, it can be making for 1,000 because you still have saving. But from your calculation, from your plan, to ensure this part plus this part plus or any other part to make it become 100,000. Okay, so that means you have this one is for you to accumulate the wealth to achieve that goal, right? So other than that, you still have investment, right, to achieve your goal. So this investment, you will invest in the share. So is it the share able to achieve this target? 7 years time. Okay, so this one you also have to, okay, please write in your personal financial plan. So other than that share, what else you can invest? Unit trust. Okay, so other than that, just now you have another plan, right? Long-term goal, retirement. You can invest in a PRS, EPF. Long-term, maybe you can invest in a real estate because you have a good rental income. You feel that, oh, rental income is good for investment, then you can use down payment. But you need to have a proper plan, okay, to write in. Of course, you will discuss in more details in the coming sessions on that. How to prepare that plan is not only the time where you have money, they have a template. In that template, you have to list out all the expenses and income and so on. Okay, so from that template, you have to base in their financial plan. So actually, we do it by Excel usually. Okay, in the Excel sheet, you will have list out all income and how do you project the plan. And if your plan is not on track, what you have to do? Your plan is not on track. Just now, we show a case that this is your goal. You want to achieve your one of the personal financial goal is 100,000 for your down payment, right? Then life will full a lot of uncertainty. So life will full a lot of standard deviation. And all the standard deviation, you have to make your own assumption. We don't know, right? So a lot of things will happen. For example, for personal risk related method, later we have a session to discuss all the details of the list, but now we just go through a very simple form. So if any accident happen, your goal cannot achieve, right? Or any illnesses happen, your goal also cannot achieve, right? So many things could be happen in between because the many years, it was 7 years time to achieve your intermediate goal. So within that time, many things could be happen. Right? So now you need to have a plan, okay, to dealing with all this uncertainty. We call risk management. So you need to have that insurance. What are the insurance products that related to your personal risk? Okay, you need to write in. You can write in personal accident insurance, life insurance. Life insurance, we also have many types. We have a term, we have an endowments plan, so we have a term life investment link, and we have also product as well. Okay, depends which one will be fit to your current income of your clients. Okay, and last, you can write in on that distribution. So in your plan, you also can write in, let's say you have your own distribution to your kids and so on. So you feel that I need to make some money to distribute if you have that wealth, so I want to put in. That one you also can put in, okay? In your financial plan, if you want to distribute to your beneficiary through a will, then how you're going to write it in the will, and what are the criteria to write in the will to distribute to your kids? You also can write in. Of course, if you don't know what is it, doesn't matter, because in the coming session, we will discuss all this more details there. Okay, I just need to have an idea what should be included in that financial strategy. Okay, any questions before we come to that part 3? Okay, part 2 is just some situations that related to that personal. But when it comes to the real estate, okay, so we have a lot of that external factor which cause our financial goal become hard to achieve, especially when the lifetime span is longer. Let's say 20 years time. 20 years time for retirement. 20 years time for retirement. So other than that, accident, illnesses, we still have external factor, right? External factor like economic condition. So you can write in, you can make any assumption for the economic condition, such as inflation. If inflation happen, then how you dealing with that? Or in your financial plan, you also need to include that inflation factor by the time you prepare your financial plan. You want to achieve for that retirement planning 1 million right now. Next, the problem is when come to the 20 years later, is it the 1 million, the purchasing power is still same as today? No, right? So that inflation factor, you also have to take consideration into that financial plan as well. Part 3. Other than that, economic condition. So maybe, okay, you also have some COVID cases, just like what you have in your paper. COVID cases. No income. Okay, suddenly your income has been dropped. You want to achieve your retirement, but now, unfortunately, your income has been dropped in between. So if your income drop now, next, what is your plan to recover back, to ensure it's come back to the right trend? Do suggest a plan. Okay, do suggest a solution. How to overcome that and how to dealing with all this scenario and situation. Okay. And next, other than that, maybe you have your own personal values, or maybe you have your own personal, okay, some things like you like to take care of the environment. So when come to that distribution, you don't want to distribute to your kids. You want to donate all your money to Utah Foundation Hospital. Up to you. Okay? Maybe you have your own personal belief, or you any religious, okay, you can donate all your money. It's okay as of you. You can write in. Okay, you can write in. You can write in anything from your personal values. You like it, okay, the mass donation is one of that. Other than the donation, maybe you want to upgrade yourself. Okay, so of course, anything you write in, you definitely affect your plan, right? You affect your plan. So once you affect your plan, so any solutions? Okay, what is the strategy if you want to have all these things happen? Okay, so now, and last, okay, you have to prepare. By the time you have all this scenario happen, what happened to your income and expenses? Your income will increase, expenses also increase, right? Or maybe income will drop to 0, expenses will increase, just like a COVID case. How you recover all this? Do prepare, okay, plan and list out in that part 3 as well, in that scenario. So this scenario is create story by your own. Okay, the story is created by your own on that particular scenario, but the story must have is the COVID. Okay, in your case, you must have it in. Okay, because we need to know if you have that COVID happen, how you're going to overcome that. Make sure your plan come back to the right trend, on track and achieve your personal financial goal. Okay? Any questions? Any questions for that briefing for 1, 2, 3? Any questions? No, right? So now then we will continue with the time value money. Time value money after that. Okay, after that we continue with the time value of money. So do you have any other questions right now on that personal financial plan? No, right? Okay, no, then you can start. I will illustrate the examples. Later, I'm going to show you 4 cases, which is from your printed versions of your tutorial. So if you have, then you just take out. If you don't have, just refer back to the screens. Okay. So now the time value of money, which means you just need to know 4 components. One is future value. One is called present value. Okay. One is called future value in a series. The other one, which is called present value in a series. Okay, this need to know this 4. Next, what is meant by future value? Future value, let's say if you have 10,000 today, 10,000 today, the bank assuming will give you 10% return. So 1 year later, your money will be growth to 11,000, correct? And then come to the next year, this is year 1, then second year, the money will still continue growth. Growth by how much? Because they give you extra 1,000 interest. Assuming the interest also still remain at 10%, the money will grow another 11,000 plus 1,001. 12,100, correct? Then next, if the money will continue to grow by 10% again, so then this money will continue compound and compound and compound. This means if you put your money deposit into the 10,000 into the bank, let's say you invest for 10 years by giving an interest rate for 10%, how much is worth after in 10 years time? So based on the series, then we can make it in a simple formula. The future value is equal to the present value. Okay, 1 plus the interest rate multiplied by the compounding factor by how many years? From your notes, right? Okay, so now based on this example, how much is worth 10,000 in 10 years time? Use your finger to calculate. Finger not sufficient, use your tools to calculate. How much? Are you sure? 100 is equal to 10,000. 1 plus 10%. 10% is 0.1. Power of 10. Two five nine 37.42. So without doing anything, you just put 10,000 into a special investment vehicle. I don't know what is it. They give you 10% return. So you just wait 10 years, then it becomes 25,000. This is called time value of money. So money will grow itself by the compounding effect. Okay. Next, present value. Present value. Just now we have a formula for this future value, right? So present value, you just use that the future value, discount that compounding factor, which is 1 plus r power of n. That means, let's say in the future, you want to own a house, deposit 100,000 in 10 years time. So now you want the money your growth to 10,000, but how much the money you have to put into the saving now, or we call this now is present value. So the money will be accumulated, become 100,000 in a 10 years time. So you can use this formula to check what is the money you have to purchase right now. How much? Three eight 554 33. Okay, that means you put the money into the bank, 38,000 now, without doing anything. Wait for 10 years, you become 100,000. Okay, of course, they still have some constraints. You must be ensure the return it must be 10%. And the second is you don't have any bank charges, right? You don't take out the money, okay, in between. So this is all the assumptions. So this is future value and present value. When it comes to the series, this series which means assuming the time frame, okay, I draw a timeline. So every year you make a deposit for 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, and continue for 10 years, 1, 2, 3, for 10 years, so also 1,000. So this money, how much that future value? This is we call series. So the idea is very simple. You just calculate all the series one by one. Okay? How to calculate one by one? This 1,000, you calculate the future value to the 10 years time. This 1,000, you also have to calculate the future value for 10 years time. This one have to calculate the future value for 10 years time. So 1,000, okay, I'll use 1,000 for 4 digits. 1,000, let's say assuming we use back the 10% for interest rate. 1 plus 10%. How long he compound? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. By 10 times. Then the next year, 1,000 again. 1,000. 1 plus 10%. Compound by how many series? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So compound by 9 times. Okay, then third year, you're also going to deposit for 1,000 again. 1 plus 10%, compound by 8 times. So you continue until the last series, 1,000, 1 plus 10%, compounding by only 1 time left. So you add on all these series, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How much we call future value of that series? Okay. Any question? No dy dx, very simple. Okay, no calculus, just series. Next, present value series, just the opposite. Which means, again, you use back the same example. You accumulate to deposit 1,000 every year. But how much the value in today? 0. Present value means that time value is 0 today. So you discount this 1,000 into the value today. This is 1,000 discount to 1 plus 10% power of 1. Because 1 year only. Then second, you discount back, okay, to that value today. You use 1,000 over 1 plus 10% power of 2. You continue to do the same for the remaining years until the 10 years, then you discount back 1,000 over 1 plus 10% power of 10. And then last, you just sum up all that series. Then we call present value of the series. Okay? Any questions? No, right? Very simple. Okay? This is only for present value. Okay? Of course, in others method, we still have other time value of money. But for personal finance, you just need to know this for time value of the money calculations method. Okay, let's see how we apply in these 4 cases here. Okay, how we apply for these 4 cases here. Jerry plans to buy a house for 65,000. Okay, so if that real estate property is expected to increase the value for 5% every year, and each year, what will be the 7 years from now? This means the house you buy, which is 65,000, the house value will continue to grow, right? Because of that inflation. Okay? And interest rate, assuming the interest rate will be same with the inflation. So this 65,000 for 7 years by a giving interest rate 5%. So now how much is that future value? How much? Yes. Okay, we can use the formula that just now we have learned. The future value is equal to the present value. Future value is equal to the present value 1 plus r power of n. The present value is right now is 65,000. And 1 plus r, let's say, is 5%. 5%, which means 0.05. So if you get familiar with that, you just use 1.05. 1.05. Okay, power of 7. Then you can get how much the value worth for your house. Okay, so now I want to show to you for that how you apply that present value calculation and future value calculation by using the financial calculator. Okay, this is the financial calculator. If you have one, you can just take out. If you don't have, just ignore it. Okay, it will be saved a lot of time if you use a calculation for series and reduce your mistake. So for time value money, it's only 4 buttons to use. This is N. Cannot see. Okay. The first button is N, which means how many times, okay, to that compounding period. The second button, which is I or Y. I or Y, which means interest rate. interest rate, or sometimes they use Y, we call yield to maturity or yield return. Okay, and the third, which is with present value. Present value, which means this is the PV. Okay, then this payment, PMT, payment is used for series. Refer back to case, every month you make a deposit 1,000, right? Then the payment is 1,000. Then the last, which is future value. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 button you have to use only. Okay, if you have a financial calculator. Future value, which means here. Okay, so let's look back the earlier example. How we're going to show the calculation by using the financial calculator. Okay, this Jerry want to buy a house. Okay, Jerry want to buy a house for that real estate. So now, if you want to use a financial calculator, how much the N is to use? N is how much? N how much? N is 7. Good. I over Y, 5. Okay. And present value, we don't know yet. Sorry, present value is 65,000. But usually for financial calculator, for present value, which represent your cash out money. Okay, cash out money now, in future, how much of money you get the return. So we put a negative side into the fund. Okay, and PMT payment, is there any? No. There are no serious payment, 0. And last, which is the future value, you just compute the future value, then you will get your solution. Okay, so I will demonstrate one now to you. Okay, again, for your financial calculator. Okay, now N is 7, right? I over Y is 5. Then the present value is 65,000. Is negative. Present value. Payment is 0. Okay, if you don't 0, you just use the default also okay. Okay, and last, just compute CPT. You press the button compute, then the future value. Then you can get the answer 91461.53. Is it same with your answer? 91461.53. Okay, this is how we use a financial calculator to get that solution. Right. So the next case is Michael. Right, Michael desire to have 20,000 for down payment for a house in 5 years' time. So now 5 years' time he need to have a 20,000. Again, we draw a timeline right now. How much the value in the future? 20,000. Correct? Yes or no? How long for the N? 5 years. What is the interest rate? For this case, 5%. So what you need to do is to calculate that present value. Formula, present value is equal to the future value, discount to 1 plus R power of N. Future value is 20,000. Discount to 1.05, 5%, power of 5. What is the value? Can you try? Finish. How much? 1,560.52. Good. Then if you have a financial calculator, okay, and which means they compound for how many years is for 5. Interest rate also will be 5%. No need to put 0.05 because the default you already set percentage. Use 5. Then next button is a PV. PV we have to calculate. We left it in the last part. Okay, you don't need to touch anything. For payment 0. There are no series of payment 0. Then the future value it was 20,000. Okay, then last is just compute the present value. See whether is it same with your answers. Okay, so now Again, for financial calculator, n is equal to 5. Press 5 and n. Interest rate also n. Okay, for 5. The next payment is 0. Future value is for 20,000. If we then compute that present value, last part you just press PV. So you get 1567.52. Okay. If you get familiar to use a financial calculator, which is much more efficient than you use your normal scientific calculator. For finance, okay, it's not calculus. For finance, it will be much more faster. Okay, any questions for that? Time value of money? No, good. Then next we come to the next part, which is series. For next exercise, Peter. Okay, this is called series. Let's say Peter planning to go to the graduate. Peter planning to go to the graduate school in a program study that will take 3 years' time. Peter wants to have 10,000 available each year. 3 years every year, 10,000. Enough for you? Is it enough for you? Not enough. Are you sure? Where you spend? Okay, for 3 years' time, if he earn 4% in his money, let's say the bank money will put in the bank for 4%, how much he need to deposit now, ensure to have a 10,000 every year? How much? This is serious, right? Correct? So since this is a serious, again, for any questions, I strongly suggest you to draw a timeline. Timeline. Easier. Okay? Timeline start from 0, 1, 2, 3. So every year, how much you want? 10,000. Year 1, 10,000. Year 2, 10,000. Correct? Year 3, 10,000. So this 10,000, I want to ensure every year I have sufficient money. Thus, I have to discount this 10,000 into the value today. How much? Equal to 10,000 over 10,000 discount to what will be the interest rate? 4%, 1.04. So this one will happen in which year? Year 1, correct. Then second year, you discount again to the second year present value. 10,000 over 1 plus 0.04, 1.04 power of 2. Okay. Year 3, then you have a present value for 10,000 again for 4%, 1.04 power of 3. So once you get all this answer and add on, sum up everything, how much is your present value? I give you 1 minute. Can you press the calculator to check the solution? Correct. Finish. Okay, you can use formula. How much? 277. 277 by 0.91. Is it everyone get the same answers? Okay, you can use formula. Okay. Later if you have more time, then we continue with the formulas. Okay. But this is the original. Okay, this is original. What's the meanings by the series? Oh, up to you. We have a solution by using financial calculator. Yes. Okay, so let's demonstrate in the financial calculator. See how long we take. Right. So now n is how long for n? N it was 3 years, correct? Interest rate 4%. Payment every year you need to have 10,000. Future value 0 because no money. After 3 years, use back all the money. Oh, sorry. Thank you. After 3 years, all the money gone. Right? Last step, just compute what is your present value. Okay, how much your present value? See whether the answer same with yours. So if you have the financial calculator much more efficient, let's say n is what? 3. N is 3, interest rate is 4, and future present value no. Okay, present value payment is 10,000 every year. Because you cash out for your money to use for 10,000, then it's negative for payment. Future value is 0. Just compute that present value. Is this same with the answers? Correct, right? So which method will be much more efficient and less error? Formulas, this timeline, or financial calculator? Okay, so if you have one, you can take second hand if you know money, budget concern. You will save a lot of time, especially during any assessment. Okay, during the assessment time. If you don't have, no choice. You use back the classical method or the formula, also classical method. Okay, but when it comes to that classical method, you ensure that you press all the button correct, all the figure you enter. Okay, any questions? No. Okay, last. Last, let's say one finance company that advertise that TV will pay you now for 60,000 now, exchange with the payment for 10,000 that you expected to receive for a legal settlement for the next 10 years. So 10 years later, how much the value for 60,000 now, and 10 years later, how much the value for the money, okay, in 10,000 they pay you every year. So the idea is that the first one, you take the 60,000. The second solution, okay, they pay you 10,000 every year for 10 years with an interest rate. How much the interest rate? 10%. So which offer you likely to accept? Which one will be better? You have to compare, right? Compare the two methods. You can compare the present value method or you can compare the future value method. So just now we have learned the present value for series, right? Now we continue the present value for series, future value for the series. For this one, future value for series. If you want to compare the future value series, this one you also have to convert to the future value. If this one convert to the future value is equal to the present value 1 plus r power of n, 60,000. Interest rate is 10%, 1.1 power of 10. How much? One five five 624.55. Okay, compare now series. Series you have to draw a timeline. So 0, 1, 2, 3 for 10. Okay, first year is 10,000. Second year is 10,000. And the final year is also 10,000. So this 10,000, you have to convert to the future value in a series. So the future value is equal to 10,000 okay, is equal to the 10,000 1.01. How many is the compound? By 10. And the second future value is equal to the 10,000 1.10% power of 9 because it's compounding for remaining 9 years. The third future value is 10,000 by compounding by another 8 years. Right? Then until the last future value for 10,000 compounding by 10% power of 1. Okay, 10, 9, 8 until 1. So you add on all these series, then how much? You can use a formula. Okay, you can use a formula, but I'm going to stick back to the original idea first. Okay, formula, sometimes some students, they don't know what's the logic behind. This is the original logic behind for series. Okay, it will be much more clearer for you. But if you understand this, then later you apply the formula, you get the same result. Right? So now, how much all this future value? How much all this future value? 159,374.25. Okay, so now we use the financial calculator to check all the solutions here. So the first one, see whether it's correct or not. The first one, N is how much? 10 years, correct? Interest rate is 10%. Your present value is 65,000 negative, and your future value just compute. I think just now payment. $10 years for 10%, 60,000. Okay, 0 for payment. Compute the future value. 155,624. Is it correct? Right. Then second, which is a series. Then series is the same, which is I clear all the calculation first. 10 is N, 10 is the interest rate, and present value don't have 0. And the payment every year you have 10,000, right? 10,000, which is to give it to you. And last, compute that future value, 159. Is it much more faster? Okay, so this one is 159 in 10 years back. So now you have to make decision. Which offer you likely to accept? You want to get 155 10 years or 159 10 years? 159 better, right? Okay, so your decision, you should accept the offer for 10,000 every year. Rather, you take 60,000 now. It's not worth. Okay? So this is the idea. Any questions? Any questions? You can use the present value method. You want me to show you the present value method? Present value method. Okay? So present value method, just the future value discount to the present value. The present value method for series is the same. Present value 60,000, which means 60,000. So no need to calculate anything because now it's already 60,000. What you need to do is this value which you expected in a future value time, 10,000, you discount to T. Discount into the today. Okay, so 10,000 discount to 1.1%, 1 plus 10%, power of 1 because we are 1. The second, you have to use back 10,000 over 1.1% power of 2. Year 3, you do the same. Use 10,000. Discount to 1.1% power of 3 until the 10 years. 10,000. Discount to 1.1% power of 10. Then you add on all this serious money. How much? 61,445.67. Right? Let's double check the answer with the financial calculator. Second, clear all your works. Okay, n is equal to 10. Interest rate also equal to 10. And the payment is 10,000 every year. Okay, future value is 0. Just compute that present value. Okay, then you get 61,445.67. Next, compare with 60,000. Which one is worth? This one is worth, right? So you should accept to take 10,000 or 60,000 now. 10,000 every year. Okay, so this is a decision. So you can use the future value for the series or present value for the series. Okay, so this is time value money. For your projects, you have one project, right? So they have a lot of the financial plan. So you have to illustrate all this future value, present value according to your own assumptions. Let's say we have discussed that project. You have a financial goal for retirement. Retirement is one of the long-term goals. You want to get 200,000 for your retirement. How much? But before you obtain the retirement, 200,000, you have to check what is 200. Why is 200,000? Because from 60 years old, let's say your life expectancy is go to 80 years, correct? So every year you assume you want to spend a money for 20,000. 10,000 is not enough. So this 20,000 every year, you have to discount a value to the 60 years old first. Correct? Then this 60 years old, you get a present value. Then this 60 years old, again, you draw another timeline. What's your age right now? 25. Let's say. So you have how many years to go to 64? 60? 25. 30. So you have 35 years to go to 60. To accumulate that present value, so you have 20,000 to pay. So now, how many money you want to save in the bank account? So you can accumulate that present value for you to sustain another 20 years. So you have, okay, this is only one financial goal. So in your project, there are many financial goals, right? So one by one, do the calculations step by step and based on your own assumptions. Okay, assumption is interest rate. How many years? Okay, what's your what's your age now, and what's the retirement age and so on. This is all your own assumption. No right or wrong. Okay, but you need to show all the calculation step there. All right, this is one example. Okay, for time value of money, how they apply into the projects that we have discussed in earlier sections. Okay, questions? No questions. Okay, very good. I think come to the end of the sections, and we should meet up on next week. Okay, in the second part of the sections. So if you have any questions, just drop me an email. Okay, reach me.